Even with clarity, most music producers plateau at some point. Nobody knows they exist, and even ideal clients or artists don't see them as a solution to their problem. Today, I'm going to show you some slides on how to market strategically, build authority, and third of all, scale your business without burning out. Producers I work with are often finding bigger clients, finding more recurring revenue, licensing deals, and doubling or tripling even their income in less than a year. So we're going to cover these 3 steps: marketing, authority building, and long-term growth strategies that are actionable. And I'm going to share with you 4 steps to do today. So stick with me until the end. I also have a final little offer for you. And without further ado, let's just jump straight in because we all got stuff to do. I've got quite a lot of music to produce today, so I'm very excited actually for my afternoon. And the sun is shining here in the UK, so double bonus, right? Marketing matters-ish. Now, I am going to highlight the ish here because a lot of the steps that I took to grow myself to 6 figures a year with music production was definitely based around outreach and conversations and making sure I had a really solid landing page that I was driving people to that made sense for what my offer was. So marketing is really important, but it doesn't mean it has to be like a relentless churn every single day, every single week, because I know a lot of creatives hate doing it. And I do believe you can build a massive business without doing it. But the biggest benefits about doing some marketing is staying front of mind. When somebody's looking for a producer and you connected with them 6 months ago, how do they remember who you are? And this can be done publicly in terms of posts that you create, but I think it can also be done behind the scenes as well. So take this first slide as an option. And if it's really not for you, then we're diving into some other stuff that I think is going to be useful for you to know. So marketing isn't just posting on socials and hoping somebody notices. It's a deliberate strategy to reach clients who value your work and are willing to pay. And every piece of content should serve a purpose: attracting, educating, and converting clients. Random posting equals inconsistent results, and strategy equals predictable opportunities. Now, as we've just touched on there, it might be that you're doing the next step that we'll talk about that's more behind the scenes, but the same still applies. It still needs to be, if you're doing stuff randomly, you're going to get inconsistent results. But if you're doing things predictably, you're going to get good results and a lot more frequently. So all of these dry moments where you say, work has dried up at the minute, it's because you've been inconsistent somewhere. It's not because the markets are disappearing. It's not because people don't have money anymore, because there is plenty of people out there that have both of those things. It's just about finding them. So build authority. Authority equals credibility in your market. When clients see your expertise, they trust and hire you a lot faster. Share your knowledge, tutorials, breakdowns, behind the scene videos of your production process. Maybe you can showcase some of the work that you do and how you create the sound. That's the content that's like, it's fun to watch. People are like, hey, you're awesome at what you do. And they're not necessarily thinking about hiring you at that point, but they're enjoying seeing how you do things in your own way. And authority isn't bragging. It's providing and proving that you solve problems better than anybody else does. And that is very specific to the problem that you're trying to solve for people. In previous videos, we've talked about creating an avatar and creating your proposal. And you will be able to solve somebody's problem a lot better than somebody else. But if they don't know about it, then they're not going to be able to hire you, because they don't know that like the specific problem you're really good at solving even exists out there. Consistent authority content builds recognition and attracts the right clients. Let me read that again. Consistent authority content builds recognition and attracts the right clients. So networking, collaboration. It is the most important thing to do, is networking. And it's not the really awkward rooms full of people with a free bar for an hour stood there awkwardly talking. That is I would say the old version of networking. Networking is simply connecting and making friends wherever and however that might be. You might even find a music group that love to go out cycling, and you're going to join that group so you can go out and do that with them. That is networking. I love playing golf, and I never thought I would like playing golf, but I love being outdoors, and I love good weather when it's good. And for me, just getting out there for 4 hours and just enjoying nature, and often the most beautiful part of nature, I didn't realize how beautiful golf courses were, we're now getting work through the golf community because we are committing there and enjoying our time there. So it doesn't have to be a really boring way to network, but your network is your net worth. Such a cheesy way of saying it, but there isn't a better way of saying it. Collaborations and partnerships open doors to new clients and opportunities, especially if you share a passion or a hobby. Strategically connect with other artists, bands, potential clients that fit your avatar. Don't just collect contacts. So work out who it is that who is your ideal client, where are those people, and how can you get in front of those people a lot more often. That could be going to gigs and being in a live environment because you just love you love the networking one-to-one. You love just meeting people in real life. It might be trying to think of something else that's very obviously music industry. It might be that there's a venue that hosts some networking nights. That's a bad example. There's many more. I think to be honest, like the golf one probably is best because you just don't expect to get clients there. But actually, if you find your avatar and you find that they're in a particular place or they generally have another hobby, maybe it's that they are indie rock bands and they love football. So how can you hang out at football places where they are likely to be? Even find your dream band to work with and figure out where they play football five-a-side and just network with them, jam with them, enjoy spending some time with those people. A strong network can accelerate growth far faster than solo efforts. And send DMs. If you don't want to post regularly, if you don't want to go into a room and network with people over a beer and you just find that really awkward, put a lot of effort into DMing and starting genuine conversations. If they're not seeing you posting on socials, that's one thing. You won't be front of mind quite as much. So you need to pop up more in the DMs and build the relationship that way. One really great way to do it is not just to send, hey, I'm a music producer, love your music, would love to work sometime, or would love to collaborate, etc. Don't just avoid everything like that. Pinpoint something they have posted about, something they've done. Let's just use the golf analogy or the football analogy. Let's say they've posted something about a football team. You can say, hey, I love football as well. I don't support the same team as you, but maybe there is something we have in common with football. Find something that is not the direct music producer. And I would stay on that path. The main thing you want to do is just gain their trust. Even tell them, like, I'm not taking anybody on right now. So don't think I'm about to sell to you, but I do want to let you know your music is amazing. It's so, so good. It reminds me of this artist. And then they'll probably go back and be like, oh, I love that artist as well. And because they're your ideal avatar and you've reached out with them because you know they're your avatar, the chance of you having things in common is going to be really, really likely. Social proof and testimonials. So testimonials, that was my funny bone. Testimonials, case studies, and proof of results build instant credibility. Clients trust what other clients say more than your own sales pitch. And I find that so, so true. If you see or hear, even just hearing a story about another client will work more than just giving them the pitch on what it is that you offer. So think about how you can put that out into the world as well. How do you gather that social proof? Maybe they've just sent a message to you on WhatsApp and been like, I love this song. It's been so fun working with you. Screenshot it, put it out there, get it out in the world. In fact, if the link that's in the top of the description, hit that. That's my landing page for specifically the course where I teach music producers. On there, you can see some screenshots of some really fun conversations I've had on WhatsApp that I was like, that made me smile. That's fun. Thanks for saying it. Screenshot. And I just post them wherever I can. And it's just really, really helpful, I find. Even small wins can be shared visually. Before, after, maybe some results or some feedbacks, you can just turn into some fun little snippets. Obviously ask permission or block out names, just be a little bit sensitive to that, but use it. It's there. It's perfect social proof. And social proof reduces friction, speeds up decision making, and increases conversion. And that is just so true. Like, to speed up a decision because you've read loads of other posts. Think about when you go on shopping on Amazon and you go down into the comments below on a product you're looking at. Really what you're looking at is for the people that are going to say, this is really, really bad. This is really, really bad. But if you only see comments of people saying, absolutely buy this. This is the best thing I've bought all year. You're so much more likely to hit go and have confidence and proof into that. So although I am comparing music producers and how you should set yourself up to Amazon there, Amazon have it right and they make a load of money for a reason. So you need to have that equivalent like comment section or gather some testimonials on Google or however you want to do it, gather those into a particular place. So there's a million ways to do it, and we can talk about that later. So long-term scaling. Scaling isn't about hustling harder. It's about building recurring revenue streams. So looking for licensing deals or long-term client retainers and repeatable projects. And a scalable business allows you to grow income whilst keeping creative freedom. So focus on systems and marketing and authority for sustainable growth over time. Now let's just tap into some of that because there's a lot to unpack there, but I don't want to make this video super long. So scaling isn't just about hustling harder. Let's go back. It's about building recurring revenue streams. Now, the easiest sales you'll ever make will be somebody you've already worked with that loved working with you, and then you get in touch and you say, when do you want to do another track? I would love to do something else with you. Let's work on the EP. And figuring out when that starting point is, marking it in the diary, making sure you get in touch with plenty of time, and you can start to predict what your year looks like by doing that. But those are going to be the easiest people to resell to. And it doesn't have to feel cringy. If they loved working with you, they're going to want to work with you again. So, be open, ask the question. Looking for licensing deals. So long-term client retainers is a great one. Repeatable projects. Like, can you get an artist to work on 4 songs, do them a deal and sign them up for 12 months and get them to pay monthly over the course of 12 months? You might be able to get 500 a month for 12 months and then stack 4 of those people and suddenly you're at 2,000 a month for the whole year. It's a really good way to sort of start forecasting forwards rather than just taking jobs as you can, hoping for the best and hoping more comes in. It's a great mind shift to make. And a scalable business allows you to grow income while keeping creative freedom. So the first bit of scaling I did was that I outsourced my mixing, my mastering, and then I also outsourced my editing. So editing all the vocals, tuning, aligning backing vocals, all that kind of stuff. And that allowed me to scale. It allowed me to have more time in terms of sales, getting more clients in, and then also just way more headspace to enjoy working on the production stuff, because that's the bit that I really enjoyed the most. And then finally, let's touch back on focus on systems. So systems being, what can you automate? What processes can you put into place that just make it easy and for you to repeat over and over again? Have you got a sales script so that when you're on those calls, you don't have to think too much? You know roughly what you're going to ask in the order of the call. Systems like onboarding people. Where are they going to go for all their updates and all their feedback? We create a portal that they have everything in one place. Same with the marketing and same with authority for sustainable growth over time. These are things you want to be able to repeat over and over again, and it feels less daunting. But the more you can repeat, the more you're like, I don't need to do that bit. Maybe I can find somebody else to do that bit. And then you start really growing a business off the back of that. So let's look at some quick actionable steps. Step 1, plan content to showcase your expertise and attract the ideal client. This goes back to what's your avatar? What's your offer? And then is your marketing specifically targeting those 2 things and speaking about those 2 things? Step 2, build and maintain a network that leads to referrals and collaborations. I would literally recommend, if you feel like your Instagram, your TikTok, wherever you are, is not full of your most ideal people, I would honestly remove them all, start again, and start building that community and that network back up from scratch. Everyone that's in my feed at the moment are people that I want to see, that I want to interact with. Maybe they're clients as well. They're all people that are like feeding into my ecosystem and my network. Step 3, collect social proof and showcase it consistently. Shout about your wins, enjoy them. Find those tiny little wins, that one little message that was like, I really enjoyed today, thank you so much. Screenshot it, put it out into the world and be like, another happy client, another happy artist, or however you want to frame it. Make sure it gets out there into the world. And then finally, step 4, identify one scalable revenue stream to implement this quarter. I think this is probably the most important one because it's something you can really action today in terms of something that might scale the business and change what this month looks like to next month. But in order to do step 4, or even though I think it's the most important, you need to make sure you do step 1, step 2, step 3, and then get to step 4, because if you identify that one scalable revenue stream, but you aren't sending them to the right place, they're not seeing all the right type of content, they're not seeing all the great reviews that you've had and being able to see your work in its best light, you'll waste a month trying to get that revenue to even give you anything back in the first place. Additional action plan, and this is where I'm going to leave you today. So if you go into the description, the link that's at the top there, madeontheroad.co, you can head there. There's a I was going to say short video, it's like 10-15 minutes. It can show you exactly everything we've talked about today, but more specifically what you get if you did want to have that one-to-one help. It's not just about joining a course, it's about, do I need some more help with this stuff from somebody that has been through this and done it and come out the other side and is still working on things and changing and updating, the changing world that we're in. And what I want to do is help you map your marketing strategy, your authority building, and grow a 12-month plan. We'll make sure you walk away with actionable steps to scale your business sustainably. Even if we don't work together afterwards, you'll have that clear roadmap to walk away. There will be a pivot moment in the conversation where I'll say, do you want to know more? Like, does this feel like something you want more consistently and to have access to basically on a daily basis? You can either say yes, or you can say no, I've got what I need, and we can go separate ways from there, hopefully still follow each other and whatnot. Let's have that conversation, and we hop back to the big camera, have that conversation, figure it all out, and it's up to you on what you want to do next. So I'm going to leave you there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click that link, or at least check it out and watch that video, and look forward to seeing you in another video. So take care, look after each other, remember, never stop creating.